Hi, my name is Stuart Ziff, and this is JamPlay.com, and we're talking about reggae music. And up to now, we've learned the origins of reggae, we've learned the ska rhythm, and we've looked at the basic rhythm of reggae. In this lesson, we're going to talk about different parts that you can play and different things that the guitar does in reggae music. Now, the first part that we did was the rhythm called the skank. Okay, so we've learned that part. We've got a track that we're going to play along to, but now we're going to look at another part to play. And this is where the guitar actually plays something that's counterpoint to the bass and the original rhythm guitar. And this is really where a big influence of American R&B filters down into reggae music, because a lot of the same concepts that you would use to come up with a part to play when you're playing rhythm and blues, you can also use the same ideas to play reggae music. Of course, everything depends on the particular rhythm that's being played. Are you in a major key? Are you in a minor key? What are the changes? All of these things influence it. But basically, you're looking at the different styles of American rhythm and blues, from Motown to Memphis to Muscle Shoals, New Orleans. Any of these influences certainly can come into play when we're talking about learning to play reggae music and what to come up with for parts. So let's look at some of the things that we can do. One of the things that you're going to hear on reggae recordings is you're going to hear a guitar that's definitely playing like a counter melody to the bass and fitting in somewhere between the drums and the rhythm guitar, much like an R&B track would. Sometimes you might hear guitar players playing things with a wah-wah pedal, doing a very simple wah-wah track. They might be playing a simple lick with the wah-wah. They might be playing something that's a single note line with a very clean sound on the guitar. I'm going to demonstrate some of these ideas, and you'll know what I'm talking about. Let's look at the idea of using the wah-wah pedal first. So what I'm going to do right now is play a little part with the wah-wah that pretty much stays out of the way of the rhythm section and the rhythm guitar, but has a rhythmic function also. So here we go. Here's the track. So there's an example of a very simple part that you might hear in some reggae recordings that's loosely based on an R&B kind of idea. And what I was playing is doing sort of a thing that applies a sus against that one chord. And that little riff is sort of a pentatonic, major pentatonic thing, like off a C major pentatonic kind of line. But you notice I tried to leave some space in there and just leave a hole for it so the whole thing could breathe. And that's really the object of it, because all the parts need to sound relaxed and simple, but locking together to make the whole machine move. Now, another approach for this would be to go for a clean R&B, sweet kind of vibe, using some double stops. And just, again, I'm going to try and leave some space and also occupy a place harmonically that maybe I don't hear everybody else playing. So this part has its own voice. But again, it's got to function rhythmically, it leaves some room, and it's relaxed. Now that idea was based on double stops. Here I'm sort of outlining a C chord, playing G and E at the 5th fret. Then I'm getting that 4 chord, that F, by playing A and F right here at the 7th and the 6th fret. And I'm grabbing this little double stop here, which denotes a G chord, which would be D and B. And I'm trying to be rhythmic with it by going. Like that. And it stays out of the way of the original rhythm part. It's counter to that, but it occupies its own space, and it works. So these are things that you want to think about when you're trying to come up with that second guitar part. Now we're going to look at when the guitar doubles the bass. And this does happen often in reggae music. And a really great example of that would be Stir It Up by Bob Marley. The bass and the guitar play the same thing throughout the whole song. Okay, so here's an example of a guitar doubling the bass through the song. And I'm going to play pretty much 95, 96% of that bass part. I might leave a spot where the bass player does a pickup. But for the most part, I'm going to be playing what he's playing. So here it is. So those are the basic ideas and things that you hear when you're listening to reggae music. So now when you're listening to the records and you're learning the songs and you're learning how to play it, you're going to sort of tune in now to the various parts on different recordings and different songs. Songs where the guitar doubles the bass, songs where the guitar does a counter melody or does a second guitar part, much like an R&B record would. The guitar doubling the bass, or the guitar simply playing the skank rhythm. So reference the artists that I talked about, listen to those records, practice these parts, try and use your imagination, and see what you can come up with. So practice up and good luck.